Okay. Sometimes you get two people, and sometimes communication can be weird. Anyways, I'm going back. You got a new person over on the other side that's being helped by one of our more experienced users. So that's what you're seeing, a lot of chat conversation going on. Normally it's not as busy, but anyways, there must have been a miscommunication here. So I'm going down the right track. This is part 2 of yard operations, so I wanted to keep this going. And Tom's got me lined up now, hopefully. It's getting late. So what he was able to determine with the tonnage that I had mentioned, we calculated what the tonnage was, and if you want to find out the tonnage, Shift Z. I only got 1566 tons, but when you calculate what's already in there, it'll be 3299. We calculated for this train that's going to Kansas City, you only need 1.5 HPT, and in order to get that, we only needed 2 engines on this particular train. So, I'm just seeing... It must be late, that's why he's getting loopy. Okay, now I get what he's talking about. So I wanted to do this tutorial just to see that, yeah, sometimes it does get busy on here. It's a cool server. And as I was saying about TeamSpeak, the reason why I use this as opposed to TeamSpeak, TeamSpeak is a great tool, so is video. And I find, yeah, now we're going into 1, so here's our cars. I find that using text is less intrusive, so I could be concentrating on my job and not worrying about a huge conversation going on right now, which is pretty much what I'm doing right now. I think I said it was going to 1. I think we're going in the right track. Looking for Tom. See, I can feed out Tom sits. I mean, that was where we're getting loopy. Tom is this when I get tired, I mess up and make a big mess, then I have to clean it. So see, that's the cool part about this. The thing I like about text is it's great for multiplayer because what we're seeing, that other conversation that's going on right now is happening in Bakersfield. Now by rights they could be on different channels, but when a server is not too busy, we typically will get 4 people on a good night. We had 5 or 6 on earlier actually, which is really good. For us, we're more about moving trains and cars, so we don't have the TeamSpeak. I can just, I got the text. I don't mind all that text on the screen. That's fine by me. Whoops. See, I'm doing 2 things at once. Yeah, I probably did too much. Woohoo! But anyways, I'm trying to do too many things at once, so I am going to... It's not that complicated. I'm just making it that complicated. I'm going to pause it for now, and I'll talk to you in a little bit with more stuff. Okay, so Tom's gone to help out the other guys who are having an issue. If you know, we're not always on, but if there's ever an issue on the server, like both of us have been busy. Tom is running the server for Florida, so I mean we are. Tom's an administrator here with the RTS. Obviously, he's got a server and everything, so he's one of my main guys. See, they're working on that, so I'm going to ignore those 3 for now and basically talk and try to get some more tidbits and goodies here. What the idea as far as moving the yards is, we build up the departure yards. As you can see, they're all now they're all on the matrix. I'll show you real quick. What we're doing right now is in the Barstow matrix. Kansas City was set for a build of he had 30 cars. I don't know how much we're gonna have at the end of this thing. I'm not too sure, but that count no longer matters because once it's set for a departing train and he's got the head end. If we look over onto the other side, they're having a problem with getting the train to to relinquish or whatever. Anyways, so he should have his power down here somewhere, or at least he was down here. I'm not too sure where he went to. He's assigned for the power, but anyways, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to shove it in, like I said. So yeah, as I was getting at, and I'm sorry for rambling on as I usually do, because I know you guys want information here. So this is the train. This is all the Kansas City cars we have. If you look back further, we added those XXX cars, and XXX cars just fill in for cars. Kansas City often gets empties that come from San Bernardino, but we don't send the empties every cycle. We do have some empties that are in San Bernardino right now, but we don't send them every cycle just because it's an empty movement, and you know we don't need the extra train movement. So we let them build up in San Bernardino B yard for a little bit. So that's why you don't see certain cars going out, and they normally go to Kansas City. So we got lots of activity going on within the yard. You can do a visual check, but the best way to know whether or not a train's coming up that can be released, normally we'd like to do it in the order. So the next one would be the one that hasn't gone is Los Angeles. If you click on the status area, you'll see it's M Barlac 3, for example. That'll be the train. Well, if I'm looking at it, here's some Los Angeles here. I don't know how many we have. Doesn't look like much. The matrix should have an updated count if we're still building trains. In this case, this is the final build. We'll put a blue flag on the train until the engines are on it. The blue flag stops any more activity except from the yard masters. That's our way of signaling, don't add any more cars to this train, it's final, we got the power ready, blah blah blah. So that's why we do that. So the next one will be, do we have enough cars for Los Angeles, and if not, can we hold off, and if not, we go for the next one on the list. And normally we put in build orders if something's getting pretty tight. You'll see a build order go in, just like the one here for Kansas City. And if there's, if it's a small train, it's a small train. It's not a big deal. We like to run a little bit, make it worthwhile for the power. I mean, this one's only going to take 2 units, so you got some empties here by green. Reds are your more full. Either partially filled or somewhat filled cars. So it takes experience. It's something that you almost can't teach. You actually have to just try it. And I'm just rambling on, so I'm going to save a few more minutes for some other good stuff once I get to it. Okay. Oh, Tom's back. Typing in real quick. You're not always. Whoa, I'm going way too fast. Yeah, it's a virtual world. Who cares, right? I don't know where Tom is. I see him over there. Anyways, he stepped out for a minute, and I thought I had a chance to talk, and then I didn't. There he is. He's somewhere over there. Okay. I'm going way too fast. So, anyways, as I was saying, because now I got to get out of the way. I'm used to doing this by myself, but I figured this was a perfect time because we had a couple of us in here. So, sorry for the long overgoing. He must have the engines over there. Oh, they're going to Kansas City, you doofus. I'm not with it tonight. Okay. Helping to type fast does help. But anyways, I'm getting out of his way. And I'm going way too fast for these switches. Okay, get out of there. Alright. So yeah, I was gonna go into the Matrix, so now I gotta get out of his way because I forgot the Kansas City is heading on the Needles, not heading the other way. I don't know why I was thinking that. Too much going on at one time, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of the way here. And as long as I'm out of the way, I'll explain and show you the Matrix real quick, how this works. Because I know we got a lot of questions on that. Let me... Okay. So yeah, he's coming out. There's his lights down there. So I'm out of the way. I'm gonna put my light on so you can see me. So, got a few minutes. I'm gonna show you the Matrix real quick. Gonna let him know. He doesn't know I'm recording all this, so. No, I told him. Okay. Actually, let me get away from my engine. There, that's a little bit more quieter. Okay. So, if you look into the Matrix, there's a few things that we did here. Normally, if you're not an admin, you won't have access to this, but I'm going to show you just how this works. Kansas City is now built. We don't have a release on it yet. Once he has his engines in there, either myself or Tom will actually put a release call for North 2. But the departure cars, those are no longer valid. It doesn't matter what they are anymore. Stuff that was in the bowl, I think there was, okay, there's 5 listed in the bowl. Doesn't matter what it is, that's been taken out. I thought there was 10 we added for whatever reason, but anyways. So I've eliminated those. So what happens now is we're looking at different things that are going on. That, once he puts in an update, or myself puts in a release code, that will change to release. That's the next train that's gone. We're fine. But there are some things that did take place that I need to draw attention to. So, if you take a look at, what was it? Yeah, hopefully I'm out of your way, buddy. 44 cars for Watson. Those are now in the old yard. So what I did is I deleted them. I'm putting 44 for Watson. Now you do see deleted here. That's because we already ran a train this cycle. And if you caught the first video, I was saying that for whatever reason, we already ran a train that cycle. So I'm moving it over to the old yard. And it is in old yard number 7. That's where the cars are sitting, so that now, just like that, you now know that the cars for Watson, when you go to build that train again, there are cars sitting in the old yard number 7. So that takes care of that. Everything else in the bowl has already been removed because the 44 cars got moved out of the bowl and into that. Looking at some things that are going on next. 33 cars in Lac, there's 12 in the bowl. And we're seeing stuff that can be humped now. If these things start getting humped, like Stowe just left BNS Bakersfield today. It's actually on the way right now. It's over at Bena. So it updates its last status when it departed BNS at Bakersfield. So it's on the way. That's been updated within the last 30 minutes. Others that are already in the arrival yard can be humped. What you choose to hump is dependent upon what's in the bowl. So it's a balance game that you have to play. But everything that can fit, these are automatic numbers with the exception of cars